Hey everybody, happy Sunday. It's Sunday, it's here. My husband has taken the kids off to the comic book store, so I have some time to myself to get all caught up on the sew along and answering emails and fulfilling orders and all the other things that I do here in Casa Libs. Um, Today I want to talk about staying organized. I find when I make a lot of these code-based quilts that are non-repetitive, um, non-symmetrical, it can be a little bit challenging because even if it's only 4 different blocks, there are, 15 or 14 different colors. They're all different shapes. How do I keep it all under control so I don't feel overwhelmed? So let's have a look. First, number one, the cutting table. Oh ho ho, you guys, we've had some fun with this cutting table. I think we've been through a few different versions, and I thank you all for that, for being patient with this, and for double and triple checking the numbers. And so I think we've got a pretty final version of the cutting table now. The only one that I haven't triple checked is the pieced background pieces. So if you're doing a pieced background, this might be off by a little bit. We'll get it sorted out. And this is not something I'm as concerned about as the rest of these pieces because these make up the design, whereas background, you can fake it till you make it with that one. But we will get that one sorted out. Whenever I do one of these code-generated quilts, I always do a table. It doesn't always look as good as this. It's usually an Excel spreadsheet. It might even just be me writing down in a notebook how many of each piece and each color I need, but it's the only way for me to stay organized. Unfortunately, even though I'm using technology and programming for the designing portion of things, that technology does not tell me what I need as far as the number of fabric one triangles. I have to actually print it out and just count it out by looking at it, and I am almost always incorrect. There's always at least one piece that I haven't gotten right or whatever. So this is helpful, and now I think this one, because this is a pattern that's going out into the world in the new year, this does need to be 100%, and I really appreciate you guys all helping me to figure it out. It's like we're pattern testing. This sew along, I thought it would be fun for me to sew along with everyone else, but it also means that there may be little blips along the way, and I'm doing my best to keep it correct. So hopefully this has not caught anyone up or off guard, and if it has, let me know and we'll fix it. Okay, so number one, staying organized, know the pieces you need to cut, and then cut them out. So right now I'm working through cutting all my pieces and I'm marking them off as I go, and I'm keeping all my fabrics separated. Now normally I put them into baggies. I've got the last quilt I did for market, I kept everything in baggies. I'll show you. Here they are. The problem with baggies is that they slip and slide around everywhere. Now they're on my floor. They've been moved to the floor for now. The problem with baggies is they're slippery, so as you stack them up, they kind of slide around. I find that the pets, if I open the door long enough and one of them makes it into here, they're going to slip on them and spread them everywhere. The biz comes in here and knocks everything over, and the cat is a maniac. They're not allowed in this room, so of course as soon as I open the door, they're right there and they try to bust in. So baggies I've been using, but I learned this not really learned, I saw this other idea at a workshop I was teaching quite a while ago, and I thought it'd be fun to try. Paper plates. Ooh, break out the fancy chinette. So for each color, I'm putting a color on a paper plate. I'm labeling the paper plate, just drawing on the side of it, and then you can stack them up. And then you can just pull out the paper plate that you need with the color on it. So I thought that would be cool. And because I don't use this as my dining table, who has time to eat when you're quilting? Or who has time to cook dinner for their family, right? I thought it would be cool to use these. So I'm trying these out. I think it's a cool idea. So that's keeping your fabrics organized while working on a project. So we'll see how the paper plates go. And then next is actually staying organized when you are in the midst of piecing. So there are two ways you can do it. And I flip-flop between the two. But the way the sew along is going, I'm teaching or I'm showing you, I'm saying let's focus on one block per week. So, you know, last week and the week before, it was the large half square triangles and the large curves. So you may say, okay, today my goal is to just sew all the half square triangles in the La Fin du Monde layout. So if that's what you're doing, then you'd be looking on your layout and you'd be saying, okay, I need to make this one, and here's the next one. And I generally go row by row. And I also number my rows. So let's get this to focus. So I letter rows from A all the way down to H, and then I number them across, just like basic grid. So A1 is this half square triangle. It's made with the background fabric and a fabric 1 color. Here it is here. And I've labeled it. I've oriented it the same way as the layout. And I label it in the top left corner. So usually what I will do is I'll go through the layout, piece all my half square triangles, take them to my ironing board, iron them, come back, and then label all of them before I move on to the next block type. And I label them all in the top left corner, oriented in the right way, so that when it comes to piecing all your blocks for a row, you've already got them oriented the right way, and all you have to do is start pairing them together. So I think it is really key to label your pieces as you go so that you don't get confused. If you make all your blocks for the whole quilt, I mean, if you have a design wall, I could see that you might just stick them up on the design wall as you go. I don't have space for a design wall. I have to keep everything sort of in stacks. So I end up labeling everything as I go along. And then that way I'm not stuck looking at it trying to decipher, oh, which block was this? Is it one down here? I don't know. Where does it go? Blah. So that's what I do. Labeling blocks, orienting, and then labeling in the top left corner, whether it's a piece of tape or a pin and some paper. That's the way I do it. Do you guys have any other ideas? How do you like to stay organized when you quilt? Yeah, as simple as these quilts are when it comes to the actual number of blocks, they can be really complex, as I'm sure you know by now, because of how randomly the colors are placed. But that's what makes them fancy, and that's what makes them so libs, right? So yeah. Let me know if you feel that I should include a worksheet like this as a PDF where I've numbered and lettered all these rows, or would you like to come up with your own way of doing it? As a user, normally I think in most of my quilt patterns, I do include A to H or A's or numbers and letters, but I just wonder if it makes sense for this one or not. I don't know. We'll see. Anyway, happy Sunday, everybody. I hope you're getting some sewing in this weekend, and I hope it's nice and warm where you live, because it's definitely not nice and warm where I am, and it won't be for another 5 months, but that's why I make quilts, because I need to stay warm and toasty. Okay, I will be posting a tutorial shortly on how to do the large orange peels. If you watched the video on how to do the large curves already, it's pretty much the same. It's just that you're adding one of these to each side of those peels, and to find the center of the peel, you're folding the peel in half and making a little crease so you can figure out where that center point is to line these up. But yeah, I'll post a video for that. And then, let's see, this week my husband starts a job. He hasn't been employed for a year and a half, and he's starting work tomorrow, and I'm very excited for him. Yay! So this week is a little crazy, but I do want to do like a live chat, either a Google Hangout, or I can do live streaming on Patreon now, but it'd be fun to do a Google Hangout so those of you who want to show what you've done can show. And then sometime in December, fingers crossed, I will be getting sample yardage of Tattooed North, which is my collection that comes out in February. As soon as I get it, I'm going to cut it up, and I'd like to do a giveaway for a bundle of that. Plus, any of you who are the top level patrons, you'll be getting a fat quarter bundle of that anyway. But yeah, or maybe I'll put together a special package of old and new Libs fabrics. We'll see. But I'd like to do a giveaway soon, so just be aware. Keep an eye out for it, okay? Yeah, that's it. Thank you to everyone who's been so patient with the cutting table and who's been providing feedback. And those of you who've been like saying just nice positive things to me. It's always very helpful. And I'll talk to you very soon. Up next, big peels. Big orange peels. Okay, before I go, I always call them pickles. I don't know why. I know there's like a pickle dish quilt block. I'm going to have to look up what that looks like, because I look at those little peels and I think pickles. And I want to call them pickles, but I'm calling them peels because I guess that's what they're called. So up next, pickle peels. Okay, bye.